to be able to document for human rights violations in a better way. We support them to use video more effectively. We support them also to be able to use technology in a way that will help them in their advocacy. I work for the Middle East and North Africa program. I'm a program coordinator, and I'm here today to talk about the deepfake. I'm not talking about the deepfake generally. I'm talking very specifically on the relationship between the deepfake and the human rights, which I think all of us here will really be interested to hear more about it. Um, First of all, thank you all for coming. And as I said, like it's really fascinating to be here face to face, interacting with real people, not on Zoom. And like one of really most important events, I think, in the Middle East is Mix. I'm so happy to be here. I'm so happy to be in the Britain Net, and I'm so happy to meet all of you. And I really wish to, after this conference, to come up with like new friendships and new work and new networking that we're going to be helping each other in the future. Um, Usually, we're going to have a projector and a slideshow, but we don't. So it's going to be a little bit like an intimate experience because we're going to have to watch some videos and we're going to have to go through like some presentation. So I hope you're going to all feel okay about it. And I hope the sound as well will be okay and everyone will be able to hear it. And if you can, to get closer, I think it will be more helpful because you're going to see through my laptop. Before my presentation, I will start with a very short video. This video was produced by Channel 4 in the UK. It is 2 minutes. It's actually 3 minutes, but we're going to only watch 2 minutes. And then we're going to start the presentation, and I will walk you through everything in the presentation. So I promise no surprises. Nothing will come as a surprise, and the expectations will be set right after this video.
70 years, I have kept a tradition of speaking to you at Christmas. But on the BBC, I haven't always been able to speak plainly and from the heart. So I'm grateful to Channel 4 for giving me the opportunity to say whatever I like without anyone putting words in my mouth. If there is a theme to my message today, it is trust. Trust in what is genuine and what is not. 2020 has been a challenging year for us all. A year when most of you, thanks to toilet roll shortages, have finally understood how it feels to have a predicament on the throne. One thing that has sustained many of us is our families, which is why I was so saddened by the departure of Harry and Meghan. There are few things more hurtful than someone telling you they prefer the company of Canadians. But at least I still have my beloved Andrew close by. It seems unlikely he'll be heading to North America anytime soon. 2020 has also been a year of heroes, such as, if that doesn't get me on Strictly, I don't know what will. Thank you. So much of our world today comes to us through these screens, which brings me back to that question of trust, of whether what we see and hear is always as it seems. On behalf of myself, your Queen, and all at Channel 4, I trust you will have the very merriest of Merry Christmases. Is that okay? Can I have a cup of tea now?
So she wasn't Her Majesty, and the video was all deepfake. And this video was produced by Channel 4. And Channel 4, like you might agree or disagree with the channel, but they are not evil, or at least that they're not going to produce a video that's a deepfake and claim that's authentic video. But if they wanted to, I think it would have been much easier for them. Just because the script written was very clear that it is just funny or trying to be funny, or the Queen will never say such words or will never describe her son or her grandson such ways. So it was an exposure of the technology and how far it went. But can we imagine if bad intention was behind this video? I think it would have been so hard to spot it and to know that this video is fake. This is what we're talking about today. How far the deepfake went, how far the technology of the deepfake went, and it is connection and it is a relationship with the work that we all do as journalists, as human rights defenders, as people who advocate for anything. Like now, we have a point of anyone can do anything that's not authentic 100%. As I promised, I'm gonna now start with the presentation. And the presentation also will have like a few other videos. So we're gonna get again together, try to hear this small speaker and like try to understand what's going on in the video with this experience. But let's start with the first thing that I'm gonna talk about today, which is the main points of the deepfake. The main three things that we're gonna talk about is the technology of the deepfake, how far it went. I'm fine, I think I'll just present. Is the technology of the deepfake and how far it went. And then we're gonna speak about the threats, what threats this deepfake means to us. And then we're gonna talk about solutions. But let me be very straightforward. This session is not gonna come up with a solution. I'm not gonna end this session with some solution that is gonna be like, all right, we're gonna do this and that, and we're gonna be fine, and the threat of the deepfake is ended. This is not happening. We're gonna just discuss some ideas that might be helpful to spot the deepfake. One of most threats to the deepfake is also the idea that it is not only to distract people who work, and it's not only to distract activists or journalists, and put more pressure on them to authenticate the video and make sure that the video is, we're able to prove it high. But also, those who are on the other side, those who are authoritarians, those who are behind the human rights violations, will take the opportunity and accuse every video that's there and expose their human rights violations that it is deepfake. This is not theoretical. This has already happened, and it happened in Nigeria, for example. So the Nigerian president, there was a video that exposed human rights violations by the state, and he said that this is deepfake. Here, as activists and as people who work with that, it's not only the problem that there is the idea of the deepfake, the existence of deepfake itself, it gives the opportunity to others, to authoritarians, to dictators, to those who violate the laws, to say that they are, oh, anything is just deepfake. How would you prove it? Yes, there is ways to prove your videos authentic, there is ways to prove their videos real, but again, this is like so much effort and pressure on the journalists and activists who are trying to do that. We're not talking only about deepfake. We're talking also, because deepfake, it really involves the AI technology and the relationship between, like how the AI can change the video, like the Queen's video, for example, and many other examples that we're going to see. But also, like, some videos are manipulated. Some videos are just edited without even this technology. And we remember the Beirut video. I'm not gonna show it just because I think it is it might be triggering for some. But the Beirut video, we all know that there was a fake video that showed a missile going into the location, and it was completely fake. But no one knew like who's behind it and who was trying to do that. But this is also another point, that if we tried to write a list of whoever benefit from deepfake, this list will be limitless, will be endless. From politicians, from regimes, from people who are just jealous, and from also like some people on the internet are just like clickbaits. They just like want to spread any kind of content to get people clicking on it. And like, therefore they will like earn some money in a way or another. In Witness, we came up with like 5 main pieces of advice. And we think this advice can help people to stop the deepfake and stop these videos from spreading. No matter like these videos are like AI manipulated, like just edited. Some videos are just like even the title of the video and the description of the video and like taking it out of context and then like sharing it in other channels and other times and like it for sure like provides it serves someone agenda that we don't know. So, but in Witness, we just came up with some advice that it's not gonna be focusing on the AI. Like we're not gonna tell you because with the AI videos, there was like some people said, yeah, you know, the deep fake figures, they don't blink. The deep fake figures, like the chin looks that way, the hair looks that way. But the thing is with deep fake that it is machine learning, so it gets better and better. So even like when some people expose some signs of this deep fake videos, it just changed and like the machine learning improves and covers these mistakes. And in the future videos, you don't have like now we're having figures blink and now we're having figures like with better hair, etc. Um, the first advice, again, these advices are not focusing on the fake, but are focusing about like misinformation and disinformation in general. There's 5 advice, and I'm gonna go through them later again at the end of the session. But the first thing is definitely like we need to stop a little bit before sharing, because most of the problems happen when people just share very fast, just retweet very fast, just share any link quickly without thinking what's behind it or maybe what's the agenda behind it, etc. The second advice is like searching on like usually there will be other source sharing the same information, even from different angles. So searching is always like a way to verify any piece of news. Third is absolutely knowing the background of like what are we sharing. Like if we're sharing like explosion in Sana'a, if we're sharing like some other explosion in Damascus, like what is the background of this? Like where is it located? What is happening exactly? So searching the background before sharing is very actually important as well. Making sure of the source. Now we live in the social media age, and all of those unknown accounts all over social media, they share all the time. They share news, and all the time they share videos. And sometimes you just find a video without knowing who's behind it, or even like the name will be just like a nickname or a fake name, and you don't know who's actually behind it. This is again like it's one of the signs that you need to take even more time while thinking and investigating if this video is real or not. And the last one is using some tools that will help you to know if this is real or not. And one of the most ways that people actually use media or fake, manipulate media or edit media and spread these rumors is like taking, for example, like an explosion from Sana'a in Yemen and then posting it as if it's from Cairo, Egypt, or it is from Baghdad, Iraq, etc. And like this is itself, it is one of most ways that people do it online. And like one of the ways to know it is like using tools. For example, if it is a photo, you can use the reverse search on Chrome, and if it is a video, you can use like some applications like on Chrome, for example, there is like embed application or extension that you can use, and this will help you to know if the video that's on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter was published before or no. But now we're going to talk about, again, the 3 main things that we're talking about today. And I really hope, like, if anyone has, like, any comment or something, just feel free. Like, we don't have a big number of people, so, like, deal with it as it is some sort of a chat. So we have the technologies and the threats and, as I say, the solutions. And as I promised, that I'm not going to have any solution in today's session. But again, we're going to discuss some tips and some ways that we can spot the deepfake. So how far it went? Like we all remember, for example, I don't know, I'm not sure if you all seen this or no.
In this reel, you're going to see my amigo, Chris. He's going to introduce to you the wonderful world of deepfakes, how AI and VFX are unlocking the future of our imagination. What's up, TikTok? You guys cool if I play some sports?
ده طبعا حد عمل وش توم كروز sorry this is like Tom Cruise someone impersonated Tom Cruise on TikTok again like we can come with an endless list of reasons that someone would do that like fame money just like creating big accounts or getting lots of followers or like even like maybe some evil agenda. So to that far like you can make like someone impersonate someone. You can create a video of a complete celebrity just for having enough data of their face. So this is one of the things that already the deepfake technology has started with it. It's like one of the things that the deepfake now as a technology is really advanced. It's really like it's not now a big deal to do that. It just needs the right equipment, maybe like enough time, but it's not really impossible. I mean. But again, let's see, like I will walk you through like some examples of like what deepfake can do. For examples, like now, if anyone got the new Pixel phone, they have that new feature that you can remove anything in your photo if you don't want to. And even the latest version of Photoshop, it also has that. Which, like for example, if this is a photo and, of something, and you want to remove it, without doing anything, like without doing anything to the background, it's not going to look like this. The road will be empty. So this is now it's on any one phone, like who has like the latest Pixel, and even like the recent Photoshop. It's very easy, and it just takes literally 2 minutes. So if for example, we took a photo of this room, and I wanted to remove the camera from this photo, so the photo will appear without the camera. It will just remove the camera like magic. And it will appear like it's not edited or anything. Also, like you can very easily in a video remove objects. Like the original video is the one in the bottom, and it has cars going, and you just like as you one who's creating the video, you want to just remove these cars and make the motorcycle alone on the road. This is also a very easy technology now, and it's not really hard, and it is in the videos that you can just remove objects from the video. Changing the background. I think it's going to be a bit hard to know which one is the real one. Any votes? The left. Actually, the snow one, the one with the ice. This is the real one, and they removed the snow, and they were able to do that. So changing the environment of a place. Filming something in the winter, in the complete snow, and like miserable weather, and then having like a complete different background. This is not complicated AI. This is not complicated technology. Now it is affordable, and many softwares that it's actually affordable and everyone can have in their own laptop, they can do that. It will take a bit of longer time. What else the deepfake did? What else the deepfake did? This is a very interesting thing, which is creating face of a human being that doesn't exist in reality from zero. So all of these faces. So in 2014, the technology was this far, and then in 15 and 16, it's very fast-paced. If we notice the technology and how it evolved, and now in 2018, we have that kind of face, and this face that looks to me very realistic for a human being, but this human being does not exist. So again, we're just talking, and this is, we're not talking about, like maybe the video of the Queen is a little bit deep technology, it's a little bit complicated technology, and it's not just affordable yet for everyone. But this technology is now, it's very easy and very affordable. So for your spare time, today and tomorrow and after tomorrow in the conference, you can try one of those sites. This egg doesn't exist. This person doesn't exist. This cat doesn't exist. This rental doesn't exist. All of these are websites. If you just went there, the homepage will have actually a cat that doesn't exist or a person who doesn't exist. And with every refresh, it gives you a new one who doesn't exist. So it is something created from zero, and it doesn't have anything reality, but it's again there, and it's very realistic, and it's very believable. And believable is the key word. What else? What else the deepfake can do? It can change photos. It can change photos. It can make, and I think also some applications on iPhone and Android, like some people play with it, like it makes someone older, it makes someone younger. This is my photo when I'm old. This is my photo when I'm young. So also, this is again not complicated technology. You can have, this is, the three faces are the same face. One is the actual one, and he's our colleague witness. Sorry, not this one. This one. The middle one is our colleague witness, Sam. But we have also his face when he's young and his face when he's a woman. So again, this is not a complicated technology, and it's very easy. And any website, if you Google that, you're going to be able to find that. And even applications on smartphones are very easy to find that, and it doesn't take even much from the process, from the processor in your phone. What else? AI living portraits, which is also like, again, I believe like you might have seen this on TikTok or something, which is like when you do a photo, like people were doing it with the Mona Lisa or something, and like, yeah, it makes it sing, it makes it move, and again, this is deepfake technology. It's very affordable and it's very there. Do as I do. Do as I do is also another dimension of the AI technology, which is like you can like have like a model who's doing like certain moves, and that certain moves, it can be done through the technology with any other figures that you want to do.
Like TikTok challenge. TikTok?
Yeah, like TikTok challenge.
Yes, videos like this, and you try and maybe try to like.
I see what you mean. I see what you mean. But it's more like you're actually like having devices in your body and you're moving, and then this can be processed through the technology, and you can apply any figure in it, and you get this figure, the queen, مثلا, Sisi, أي حد, part of the technology or another dimension of the deepfake technology. Here, again, I want you to focus with me, please. I want you to be with me in this walk. This is a very interesting walk. We're walking in a museum of the deepfake, and we're seeing like, what we reached. Oh, okay, we can actually get a cat from none, a cat that doesn't exist. We can like change the photos. We can change the age. We can do AZ. This is, it's really helpful, whether you're a journalist or activist, it's very helpful to know the limits that we have reached with the deepfake, and like how far we've gone. Lip sync. And this here, I will show you an advertisement, and this is for malaria. And you let me know, what do you think about this lip sync? Is that good for everyone?
Malaria isn't just any disease. It's the deadliest disease there's ever been.
Se dice que ha matado más de la mitad de la población que existía. وما زالت تقتل طفلا كل دقيقتين. Mais nous pouvons y mettre fin. Nous savons comment, nous en avons la possibilité. हमें और अधिक कार्रवाई की जरूरत है.
我们需要让世界领导人关注。
Hivyo tunazindua kampeni ya sauti.
Malaria. Speak up and say, malaria must die. One voice can be powerful, but all of our voices together, then they will have to listen. Malaria must die, so millions can live.
I tell you one thing, David Beckham doesn't speak Arabic. In this video, he doesn't speak Arabic, and he lips. So it's not him, it's just lip sync. But again, if you noticed, how good and efficient the lip sync is. How good and efficient the lip sync with the words. Like he speaks Arabic, he speaks Spanish, he speaks Indian, he speaks like several languages.
But towards the end, it was him.
Yes. Yeah, at the end it was him. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was him at the end. Yes. Yes.
Like deep fake, but for good cause.
It's not, deepfake is not bad. it is.
It always has the negative connotation.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, it is technology.
Yeah.
It's a technology that it is there. And the best thing that we can do is understanding the threat of this technology, like how much it can impact us to people who work for human rights, etc. But like the deepfake is not necessarily bad, but it's just very vital for us to understand how much this can do. Like that's why we're doing this session today. We're just trying to understand how far this technology has gone. So again, we're talking about like what the deepfake can do. We're also like, there's another video. Let's watch it together. It's just 1 minute.
We're entering an era in which our enemies can make it look like anyone is saying anything at any point in time, even if they would never say those things. So, for instance, they could have me say things like, I don't know, Killmonger was right, or Ben Carson is in the sunken place, or, how about this, simply, President Trump is a total and complete dipshit. Now, you see, I would never say these things, at least not in a public address, but someone else would. Someone like Jordan Peele. This is a dangerous time. Moving forward, we need to be more vigilant with what we trust from the internet. It's a time when we need to rely on trusted news sources. It may sound basic, but how we move forward, age of information, is going to be the difference between whether we survive or whether we become some kind of fucked up dystopia. Thank you. Stay woke, bitches.
Again, it's very well done, I think. And again, if there was a bad intention behind it, I think it would have been so tricky. So this is what we're facing.
Hey, if you want core strength and abs,
sorry,
don't make this a mistake.
YouTube advertisement. Okay. So we must understand that again, the deepfake is a technology. It can build something out of nothing. This is one of the main features of the deepfake. Like we can create a person who does not exist in reality, and we can also manipulate some video to make someone say something who has never said. This is one of the deep things, or the main thing that the deepfake as a technology give us, and I would say even threat us with. So we need to have the understanding that this is possible, and every video it might be, it might not real. And here there is two faces of this problem. The first one is the Nigerian version of it, which is the president or the authorities will just claim that any video is just deepfake, even if it is real. And this is a very important thing because it puts so many pressure on activists and journalists to prove that the video is real. So here we're talking about like whole process, and like to prove the video is real is not only, like I really wish, inshallah, yani, you would have the chance to go through witness.org, the website. I'll give you business cards at the end. And we have really good section on video as evidence. And it's really complicated, and it takes lots of work and attention if you're making any video or taking any video to be able to prove it is real. But this is the thing that we're going to have to deal with, because we're going to always have the other side claiming that the video is not real. The video is manipulated. The video is deepfake. So this is that we're going to have to deal with. And all the pressures that we're going to have as journalists is that we're going to be able to prove that the video is real and the video is authentic. And this is like a whole other story. Definitely, like it's one of the main threats for the deepfake that any videos that were, like, for example, in the Syrian context, in the Yemeni context, that many videos are actually like went to the ICC and like people are trying to use it as evidence in the courts and like trying to get like people held accountable and as such. And definitely like there will be like more intersectional impact of this deepfake video. As a matter of fact, like it will definitely impact the marginalized communities, women, LGBT communities more than normal people or like usual people. We have a story from Iraq, a very unfortunate one, of like a woman was running into the parliament elections, and there was also a fake video that not necessarily deep fake. It was an adult content, and it was claimed to be her, and she had to withdraw from the elections. So that's the kind of threat that definitely face women and LGBT community, especially in the region. And it also face any other marginalized community, and those who are intersectional among them. If we're talking about like poor, if we're talking about like people with disabilities, and for sure if we're talking about all of this layers together, like a queer person or a woman who's poor, who's disabled, and all of that, for sure this kind of technology and the kind of threat that this technology give us is definitely is going to be higher on those communities. And those communities definitely, and we as activists and journalists, we're going to have to be able to support these communities more and more with this threat emerging. And now we have the big questions I didn't promise that this session will provide, which is what we're going to do. Do we have any answers? Any contributions? Yes, go on, please. And feel free in Arabic. براحتك.
I'll keep in English tomorrow. So let's speak about the positive and good deepfake. Sorry, the negative.
Okay.
I think we can't cope with the technology, with the regime, with the so-called people that they're doing this continuously. We can't stop it. I think it depends on the person, the browser, the recipient, and how he or she share or stop sharing. For us, like for people, maybe we need to educate ourselves first, which is a story, under development, then educate the community with the environment.
Yes.
So the more they develop like bad people, we thinkers, I think we as journalists, human rights activists, we have to develop ourselves and how to kind of counter this.
Yes.
I have so many other questions, but I think you answered most of them. I think it depends on the recipient, how we can verify, like you said, then stop if possible.
Yes, yes, exactly. And thank you so much for bringing this up. It ends and starts with people. It ends and starts with people. And again, that's why I'm going to have to go through the 5 pieces of advice that we went through, and it doesn't have anything with the deepfake and AI technology. It is just like verify. Don't share quickly. Think before you share. Think about the source. Do your reverse search. These are the main things, because every time we're going to come up with like, oh, spot the blinking. Spot the chain. You know what? Like the deepfake figures will have like that in their hair. Every time we're going to come up with this, the machine learning, the technology will just go beyond that and will be able to develop and improve, and this will disappear in a month. So it's really worthless, and we're going to have to stop using this kind of advice, and the only pieces of advice that we're going to have to provide is this 5 ones. But yes, please.
Yeah, obviously everybody works in the way, but usually people, they tend to share more misinformation and wrong information rather than correct ones. For example, in Poland, most of the misinformation was spread by people, which was the wrong actual content, and the reasons for it are diverse. But I mean, even if there's a lot also of challenges for fact-checking content. There's a lot of things to overcome to actually, because not all of the content can be fact-checked. Not all of we don't have the availability of double-checking for anything or all the topics that we want, specifically in our region, specifically with our languages. So I think also like definitely people, but also investing more in developing counter AI, if you want to say, and also like better content moderation, more context understanding,
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. And it is really one of, again, the main problems that people, and that's why these 5 main things that we're trying to focus on. But this is a media literacy thing, that people are still thinking that the internet is as trustworthy as the TV back in the days, and it's completely not. Like the TV news, it has to go like through lots of filters, through lots of verification until like the news is out and in the TV. But people still like don't believe that the internet, whatever they are reading on Facebook or Twitter might be completely like nonsense and it doesn't make any sense. So I think this is one of main tricks, and I think this is one of like main things that we're going to have to work on, like developing this knowledge, developing this media knowledge and media awareness among people, and how to share and how to don't share, and how to just, you know, take your time with sharing and make sure that this is true, verifiable, authentic, believable, and makes sense. Thank you so much.
As well. It differs a lot in also but the older generation is sharing misinformation on the internet, and this is really problematic because also you can kind of, you have some types of fact checking for, let's say, social media, but for WhatsApp you don't have that, and you have so much misinformation spreading everywhere on WhatsApp, and yeah, there's a funny term for it, like the WhatsApp aunties and uncles, they call them. So it's.
Yeah, again.
That's not only the older generation, it's like the mass. I mean, everybody's using all the internet, and it's just, how can you really, you have to spread the awareness.
Yes, for sure. You have to spread awareness, and the whole thing is, again, the time. The time will solve this problem, like bit by bit. Again, people will lose trust, and people will just trust like the main sources or the trustable or the trustworthy sources, I think, with time. But again, this is the work that might have to do, which is like spreading awareness and trying to help people like to have a good understanding of what is the misinformation and disinformation and how common they are.
Do you do this like for the general audience, not for specific groups, awareness and education?
Yes, we try all the time, and we also try to, with these conversations and similar conversations, that we try to gather the tools that will help people to be able to verify things more. But again, like it's like this tip sheet, which again, like the five pieces of advice that I mentioned. I cannot stress this enough and how important it is, because this is like the kind of advice that will not matter with time, and this is the kind of advice that the machine learning is not going to be able to improve beyond it. So this is like, trust the source, do the reverse search, know the background, try to find other sources sharing the same news. And like, this is the only way that people will stop the misinformation and disinformation. It's not going to be by spotting, oh, you know what, I have these steps to know if there is a deepfake video. Because like with the technology that we're seeing now, and even this Queen video, which is, in my opinion, so well done. It's so well done. If she was like saying convincing things, and like they didn't say it is a deepfake video, I would have believed it completely. But this was 2 years ago. It's not yesterday. This was 2 years ago. This was 2020, after the first lockdowns. So we're talking about like in this 2 years, even the technology will be even improved more and more, and like it's gonna be even like if there are something that was a little bit fishy or spottable in this video, in the future videos there are not gonna be any. But again, like the whole trick is that if you try to get a pen and paper and like try a list of those who will benefit from the from the deepfake videos, it's an endless list. It's like so many people will want to share these videos. So many people will want to share this misinformation and disinformation and deepfake in any form that they can. And so many reasons behind it as well. Like some people will just do it for politics, for, again, revenge. The revenge is a big thing as well, especially like, I think in some Arab countries, and again in America and Europe, it's a very big thing that people share revenge when they broke up and make like revenge videos of each other. And for sure, like again, this is a point that it is very intersectional. It impacts women and LGBT and poor and people with disabilities way more than it impacts other things or it impacts other people. And we really need to pay attention to that, look, because we have to work with these communities and we have to be able to support them, and we have to even develop the tools that will help these communities to be able to face such threats. So this is like one of the main things that we're trying to do, and I think that we must do in the future as well. Any comments? Contributions? Yes, please.
How can we
benefit from deepfake?
Yes.
As
a journalist, for example.
Again, it is a technology. It is a technology and it is there. And the whole understand, like you might use it in different ways. But you must understand that this is the whole trick, that you must understand that it is there. The existence of it in itself, it will change the way you think about things. But how we would use it, I'm not quite sure. Like, media use it in different ways because it can be funny, it can be entertaining, it can be beneficial sometimes. Like all of these videos, for example, Obama and the Queen, they weren't harmful and there was no bad intention behind it. But it was telling people that this technology exists and you need to stop the misinformation and disinformation. And you need to stop sharing videos that you don't trust, etc.
The only positive thing I heard from the deepfake is lip sync. I see this is the only positive thing here.
Yeah, it could be. It could be. Again, it is a technology and it depends on how you use it. Like it's the technology is there and how you're gonna use it. You might have good intentions behind your usage and you might have good intentions. Yes?
Just to respond to the example, like whenever we check news websites, you have the play audio, like listen to the article. So this option is already available. Now you can have the whole summary of the news with one click, a presenter appearing in front of you, speaking a specific dialect. So instead of having like 10 people who present the news with different dialects, of course you can't afford it. You can have 10 characters giving the news to people on demand. So this is one way to engage the audience. But of course, those who own the money, the resources will use it in sometimes more creative way or bad ways. And this will create a problem of trust in society. And ultimately, like the masses won't benefit because then you will only trust people who have verified accounts. And now we see how on Twitter they're manipulating this verified account thing by buying trust, selling trust to people. And therefore, do we want that platforms like Facebook to say, okay, I will verify videos, deepfakes, etc., because they actually have the technology to do it en masse, like verify thousands of videos in a few minutes. So do we want to trust Facebook to tell me that this video is fake and this video is true? If media literacy is not working, if people don't care anymore. So ultimately, always all these answers are decided by big companies. And this is problematic, I think, to wait for them to provide solutions.
Yes, and I think you're really here like touching upon like a very important point, which is like how much influence the big tech is having upon this. But like Photoshop and Facebook and I'm not sure about Twitter, but they were trying to do something for the deepfake and like misinformation and disinformation. But whatever they're doing, it seems that it is far from enough. Like I remember, and also it is Eurocentric and US-centric, and we have to be very clear about this. Like for example, like Twitter, when they had the pop-up confirmation of like, did you read this article? Before sharing an article, it just was invented with the US last elections. And if this US election didn't have much of misinformation and disinformation, they wouldn't have invented it. So like this, and also like there was lots about the algorithm that I think like many people here will speak about it in the rest of the conference, that there is more about the algorithm in Twitter and Facebook is very English-centric, or at least very Latin alphabet-centric. And it is also like when it works to Arabic, when it works with the different dialects of Arabic, you leave women and LGBT communities and those who are marginalized, you leave them behind. Because like, for example, like Facebook is very tough about the homophobic words. And whatever you write in homophobic language, your comment will be deleted. However, in Arabic, in different dialects, it's very problematic and people are still like victim of that. So I think the big tech, they must be forced, they must be dragged, they must be pressured all the time. And this is the only way that we can get anything out of them. There are lots of efforts is happening in this field, but again, maybe it is not ideal yet or it's not the right size yet. But big tech, whatever they are trying, I think it is an essential part of the battle. It's an essential part of what we're doing, and I'm very happy that you brought this up. You want to say something?
I just wanted to reply to what she said, like how you could benefit from deepfake within the context of media. Because deepfake in itself is a pejorative term, especially within the media context. Like, you say deepfake, so it's fake. Within media, so it's misinformation or disinformation. So I think the most benefit you can get from deepfake is using the deepfake to detect deep. Because the reverse engineering process has to match the engineering process of deepfake.
Yes.
So the most you can get from is use of develop reverse engineering technology.
Yes. Yeah, thank you. This is also very important. You want to say something?
There's also like just to say that people can also find like tools that have the developed to help us in detecting this information as individuals, organizations. So, for example, there are tools to use where you can just post, let's say, the URL of the specific any URL, and it can tell you if they already shared this information before, what is the percentage that they've shared, so you can kind of know how credible this website is or how not credible it is. So stuff like that people can do research, and also it's not that hard, it doesn't take much time, because also every article you need to go and double check and read about it. It's not that also feasible as it.
Yes. I think tools are very important. But again, like as activists and as people who work in human rights, also there's something that we must consider about tools. Again, it is the same thing. Who's behind it? Who's developing it? Like, is it free or for money? Is it open source or not? But once you trust, you get this. Again, we have like a whole guidance and tip sheet for like what to trust in an application or a tool that you're gonna use. But once you trust it, please use it. And like that's why we maybe like don't want to recommend like a certain tool or a certain application, because we need you as an activist or a journalist trust it and like be able to trust it. And again, this changes. Like sometimes maybe something like Twitter was like trustworthy a month before. Now it is very unfortunately not. So like again, like just trust the tool, just know who's behind it. Is it open source or not? Okay, I will use it to verify, and I will use it like to make sure that the tool is right. Again, we have the reverse searching as a concept. We have the normal search as a concept. This is a concept that many portals now are providing it. Just use this concept and try to know if the media was published before, if the media was like taken out of context, is the media make sense or no before sharing it. And this is the most important thing. Take a time before sharing, think about the source, think about the agenda, think about who's behind it, and also try to do the reverse search. Any other questions or comments? Thank you all. Thank you all for coming. It's really amazing to have finally a face-to-face session. Please, like there's business cards here. It has my name, it has my email, and it also had the website, which is the most important. Please feel free to check the website. We'll have lots of guidance for the video as evidence, for the deepfake, for also the tools and tools that you can use, and how to use how to counter the internet shutdowns. Also have a very good guidance in it. Please check the website, and yes, keep the conversation going. And please, like again, the deepfake is an ongoing conversation. So please, if anyone has comments or further comments, email me. My email is always there, and like I'll be very happy to hear from you. Thank you all. Thank you. Thank you.